Hello, I want to thank you for clicking on my channel. I'm PI187, and today I'm going to be reacting to the top 10 places to visit in the UK. And honestly, that picture right there, that looks like a nice place to visit. Holy shit. Wow. Anyhow, let's get into it.
What's up guys, my name is Ryan Shirley and I spent the last few years exploring the United Kingdom and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my UK top 10.
Oh, wow.
The United Kingdom is made up of the countries of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale or a Harry Potter film, the UK is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many myths and legends were born here. It's one of the world's most enchanting places.
It honestly looks like a really hard place to pick the top 10. If, you know, like, just these pictures I just seen just now are all, like, really, really amazing. I'm really into old things, period.
Alright, so for our first location, we're going to go visit possibly the most iconic city in the world, London. I've traveled more to London than any other international destination. I have to say it's my favorite city in the world and I just keep coming back. Everything from the double-decker buses to the energy of Piccadilly Circus makes the city feel so alive. There's just so many places to see. You can check out the iconic Big Ben and walk across the bridge to see the Palace of Westminster. There's the Tower Bridge, which is possibly the most famous bridge in all of London. You can go see the Stoic Guards at Buckingham Palace or take a ride on the London Eye. If you haven't already been to London, I'd highly recommend visiting when you can. It's hard to beat the London atmosphere. There's no city like it in the world. Alright, so after exploring London, we're going to make the 2-hour drive over to...
Yeah, that did honestly look pretty amazing. Like, a lot newer looking than I expected it to be honest. It's probably just been upgraded. Stonehenge. Whoa. Yeah. That's, I guess, obviously got to be on the list. That would be pretty crazy to go check out. I've watched a lot of documentaries on this.
Stonehenge, located in Wiltshire, England,
And yeah,
lies one of the most famous...
I hear there's just a road running like a highway. I guess I can't probably see it in the picture. It's probably back here somewhere. There's a highway running past. This is just sitting here, middle of a field.
Man-made rock structures in the world. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Stonehenge, like what was its purpose and how was it made. Archaeologists believe it was constructed back between 3000 to 2000 BC. Stonehenge consists of a ring of rocks, each being around 13 feet high and weighing nearly 25 tons each. It's unclear what the exact purpose of Stonehenge was. It's believed that it was used as an astronomical observatory or a religious site. Either way, it sure...
Well, either way, it must have been somewhat important for them to get these damn rocks up here on top. Like, that could not have been no easy feat by any means. Like, who even knows how they got them up there?
Makes you stop and think how people thousands of years ago were able to construct this. Alright, so after Stonehenge, we're going to head on over to the Jurassic Coast.
Wow.
While you won't find any dinosaurs here, you might find some fossils on the beach. The Jurassic Coast is England's only natural World Heritage Site, and it's become popular with its white cliffs and picturesque beaches that are full of fossils formed over 65 million years ago. One of the most famous spots on the Jurassic Coast is Durdledore. It's this limestone arch that goes straight into the ocean. There's a great beach there, and I just can't think of a better place to spend during the hot English summers. One of my favorite spots on the Jurassic Coast.
Look at that, Old Harry's Rocks. Wow. It looks like it's like damn near cut out. Like that's insane. Yeah, that's nice. And it's nuts because it just looks like it's all farm fields here. Nobody lives over here on the edge of this?
is Old Harry's Rocks. Now, special thanks to my friend David Rule for providing this footage. He has an awesome Instagram and YouTube that I'll provide in the description below. I remember the first time I saw his picture of this place and I was just baffled by the scenery there. The Old Harry Rocks are these sea stacks that are made completely out of chalk that mark the end of the Jurassic coast. In World War II, the stacks were used as target practice for pilots, so that's kind of crazy. I just love the combination of the green meadows with the white cliffs and the blue ocean.
The shit people did in the past, using it for target practice. Like, why? Ugh.
I mean, it's just hard to beat that scenery. Alright, so after the Jurassic coast, we're gonna head
amazing.
up north to visit the country of Wales. Now, Wales is located in the southwest part of Great Britain. It's famous for its mountainous national parks, picturesque coastline, and distinct Welsh language. One of the most scenic places in Wales is the Snowdonia National Park. It's a region in northwest Wales that is known for its mountains and lakes. The highest peak in Wales, Mount Snowdon, is located in the park with an elevation of 10,085 meters. You can hike on up there, or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway to the top. If you're lucky, you might be able to see Ireland across the sea. Alright, so after Wales, we're going to head to the Isle of Man. Now, located in the...
I guess they didn't want to show us much of that. It was pretty neat. They had a... let's go back here a second. A little farther here. There's a building on top of the mountain. And there's nothing else even around at all. Like, it looks like you can see some roads down here and across here. And you know how much fucking work it would have took to get all this shit up here to build this? That's crazy. Wow.
You can hike on up there, or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway to the top. If you're lucky, you might be able to see Ireland across the sea. Alright, so after Wales, we're going to head to the Isle of Man. Now, located in the Irish Sea, right between England and Ireland, lies a rugged island known for its rural landscapes and medieval castles.
Ooh. That looks pretty cool. We got something kind of like this close to here called Old Fort Henry. Here in Canada, Ontario. It's actually in Kingston, Ontario.
Well, it's technically not part of the United Kingdom. It has status of crown dependency, and the UK is responsible for its defense and external relations. The Isle of Man has had an interesting...
Yeah, like, look at that water. Wow. So clear. That looks so nice.
history. Humans have lived on it since 6500 BC, and in the 19th century it was ruled by Norway. But in 1266 the island became part of Scotland, and now it is a self-governing isle. An interesting place on the Isle of Man is Peel Castle. It was constructed by Vikings in the 11th century and just sits right on the ocean. I mean, it's a pretty cool...
And it just sits there for people to tour now, eh? Look at no roofs. Got a little building here. Looks like that's probably still somewhat used, because it's like, well, it's the only one other than this one that has a roof on it. Wow. Just wow. That's pretty awesome.
Castle, if you ask me. Alright, so after the Isle of Man, we're gonna head across the sea to visit Northern Ireland. Now, Ireland is full of just beautiful scenery, dramatic coastal cliffs, and countless castles. Back in 1921, Ireland was split into Northern and Southern Ireland as a result of the Government of Ireland Act of 1920. While Southern Ireland became a free Irish state, Northern Ireland remained within the United Kingdom. The capital of Northern Ireland is the city of Belfast, which is the birthplace of the Titanic ship. One of the most iconic places in Northern Ireland is the Dark Hedges. It's this road lined with beech trees planted in...
I always assumed the Titanic was built in America. Huh. I'm not American, Canadian, but I just assumed that's where it was built. And it's funny because I've watched a lot of stuff on the Titanic and I've never ever really clued into where it was built. And where'd they say that was? Belfast? The Dark Hedges?
In the 18th century, it was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. On the northern coast, you can check out the
Game of Thrones, yeah. That was, okay, that's the Dark Hedges. Game of Thrones was a really good show. That's pretty cool. They videotaped it over there, recorded it. I imagine most of it was made over there with all the scenery you guys got. Or do they have?
road lined with beech trees. Planted in the 18th century, it was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. On the northern coast, you can check out the Carrick Already rope bridge or see the basalt columns at the Giant's Causeway. I mean, there's just so much history and beauty in Ireland, and it just makes me want to go there and explore. Alright, so for our next location, we're going to head to Scotland to visit the Isle of Skye. This is probably my all-time favorite place in...
Wow. He's fucking brave. One slip, it's all over. My family, there's a castle in Scotland with my family's name on it. It's where my family originally came from. I'm part Irish, part Scottish, part Dutch, born in Canada, but that's where my family comes from, is from, my mother would be Dutch, and then my dad was Irish-Scottish. My grandparents, my grandpa was Scottish, and my grandmother was Irish. And my mother, who's Dutch, was adopted, so I don't know everything about, I just know she's Dutch. From her real family, obviously not her Dutch family, or her adopted family. I'm pretty sure her adopted family would be from, their name would be English. But yeah, there's actually an island in Scotland with my last name on it.
In the UK, you literally feel like you're in a fairy tale when you visit there. I was lucky enough to go to the Isle of Skye last summer, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. One of the most impressive places in the Isle of Skye is the Old Manastor. It's one of...
No, it's not a big island. Just a small island with a little castle that's completely gone now. But I guess that's where my family originally came from.
My all-time favorite rock formations. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones when I was there. Now, to get to the Old Manastor, it's about a 4-kilometer hike. You walk through some conservation gates and you'll reach the famous rock pinnacles. I went for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were breathtaking. When I was there was just like crows flying around the rock, and there were some sheep running around. I mean, it was just a magical place. So the legend of the Old Manastor...
You would never want to go home, honestly. Like, if I came over here, I don't know if I could come back. Like, that's just, it's just too nice.
Is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations. It's one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone to see it at least once in their life. Just a few minutes away from the Old Manastor, there is a breathtaking waterfall called Meout Falls that cascades down to the ocean. There's a nice viewpoint where you can look at the waterfall. The surrounding sea cliffs in the area are also stunning. One of the most famous is Kilt Rock, which are right by Meout Falls. I mean, it's just such a cool area. There aren't many waterfalls that fall straight into the ocean. If you're looking to find some fairies, you may want to check out the fairy pools. There are these picturesque blue pools that lie at the base of the Black Colons. When I was there were so many midges, I didn't dare get close to water, so make sure you bring some bug spray. If you want to do a beautiful hike, I'd also recommend visiting the...
Look at that. Car down there. It's just all green fields. Wow. That is so beautiful. There's not many trees over there, is there? Like, that's just kind of clued in, like, 'cause if this was like a picture of Canada, fuck, all you're gonna see is fucking trees. Trees, trees, and more trees. And I'm not seeing any trees here. Not to say I haven't seen any trees. Oh, well, yeah, we got some down here in the road, I guess. Or fucking those might even be bushes for all I know. They don't look like they're even big enough to be trees. And maybe there are some, no, I think that might be bushes too. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many trees.
Korang, it's one of the most beautiful areas in the Isle of Skye. You feel like you're walking on a giant golf course. I found this crazy vantage point to get a good 360 view of the whole area. Alright, so after the Isle of Skye, we're going to head over to the nearby Eilean Donan Castle. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you will drive right by this. It's one of my favorite castles in the UK. Situated on a small tidal island, at the point where the three great sea locks meet. The castle was built in the 13th century. I'm so mad at myself I didn't visit the castle when I was there. I wasn't able to check it out. That's one of my biggest regrets of when I visited the UK, so don't make the same mistake I made. Alright, so after castle, we're gonna head over to...
Look at that. When was that built? Like, that's gotta be at least, what, 150, 200 years old? They don't do shit like that anymore. That's amazing. Looks like something that would be in Harry Potter.
To one of Scotland's most iconic locations, the Glenfinnan Viaduct is located at the top of Loch Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around 1898. This may look familiar because it was featured in the Harry Potter.
It was in Harry Potter films. Yeah. I think it just totally like... I'm seeing it. That's what, for some reason, that's what's popping in my head is fucking Harry Potter. So, yeah, okay, it was used in the Harry Potter movies. That's why it looks like something that would be used in the Harry Potter films. Yeah, that's awesome. What year did they say? They just said the year that was made. Sorry, I'm going back a little bit.
Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around 1898. This may look...
1898. Oh, it's like 100. Yeah, it's 100. Wow, almost 150 years old. 98. No. 100. Not even 130, I guess. But still pretty damn old. 130 years. Wow.
Look familiar because it was featured in the Harry Potter films. When I was there, I wanted to get close to the bridge, so I walked underneath it. I was just shook by how big it actually was. After I hiked to the top to get a good vantage point so I could see the famous train go across the viaduct. Just really reminds you of those Harry Potter movies. Alright, so after Glenfinnan, we're going to head over to Edinburgh. Now, if you want to go back in time, Edinburgh is a must. It's where J.K. Rowling wrote her Harry Potter novels. When I started traveling, this was one of the first cities I visited. It's a medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go into the castle because I was being too cheap, but one of my favorite places was Calton Hill. It offers a...
How the fuck do you go over to UK and you're just too cheap to go into things? Like, are you going back next week, are you? Maybe do it next week? Like, when are you gonna get a chance to do this again? How could you be cheap and not go and see it? My problem is how I wouldn't be able to see enough. Maybe that's probably part of the problem too. You'd run out of money eventually, but fuck, there's so much to see. Like, even just going and taking a look at all the abandoned castles would just blow my mind. Wow.
Beautiful view of the whole entire city. While we're still in Edinburgh, we're going to head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park, and it's a short walk from Edinburgh Centre. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano with an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I wanted to get as high as I could so I could see all of Edinburgh. I made a hike up and I reached the top, and it was just so windy when I was there, nearly blew me over. After I hiked to the top, I had a good time just hiking around Holyrood Park and enjoying the views of one of UK's most iconic cities. Alright, well that is it for my United Kingdom top 10. The UK is just such a unique region in the world, and I hope all can witness its beauty and history. What was your favorite place in the video? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to support the channel, considering becoming a patron, and where you get perks such as free travel guides and stock footage, you can find me on Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. Something tells me there's a lot more than, what was that, top 10? There's a lot more than 10. Like, you could easily make a list of 100, I think, of top 100 places in the UK to visit, and that probably wouldn't even be, yeah, there right here. top 100 UK most beautiful places. That seems more proper because it'd be really hard to do top 10. This probably wasn't the actual top 10. There's probably other places in the UK that are actually nicer. This is just probably the top 10 that this guy saw. But I'm blown away by it. It's such a beautiful piece of land, like just, and the history in it is just insane, just gorgeous. I'd love to go over there and visit. Like I said, I don't know if I'd ever come back home. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you believe those would be, say, close enough to the top 10, or would there be anything that you would add to the list? Is there anything that he missed? Yeah, that was a pretty good video. Who made that video? His name is
the United Kingdom, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my UK top 10.
Doesn't say. Hold on. Okay, the channel is Ryan Shirley. So if you want to check out his video of United Kingdom top 10 video without me blabbing in the background, his name's Ryan Shirley. You should check him out. Give him a like on the video if you liked it. Give me a like on the video if you like this video. And hopefully I'll be checking out some more of this stuff. I really like checking out history. So there's a lot of history in the UK and lots of places to check out. So I could react to a lot of this stuff. But anyhow, you guys have yourselves a great day. And I hope you check out some of my other videos. And if you could like, comment, subscribe, that would be awesome. So anyhow, have a good one. Talk to you later.